The right to freedom of expression, freedom of speech, freedom of association is globally recognized as a fundamental human right, and constitutions all over the world try to safeguard and protect these rights. Nigeria is not an exception. This is the Courthouse, and I'm Itohan Olomu-Agbodo. This week we'll be looking at freedom of expression and looking at hate speech, just opposing both these two together and seeing what the outcome will be. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back. Stay with us.
If we have to give you anything, then we have to give you everything. Love Plus Channel 465 is simply the best. Because we have something for every member of the family. So dads, keep the team spirit going on with our intriguing sport highlights and reviews. And moms, cooking is never boring when you have our intriguing drama series. And for all your lovely kids, just sit and enjoy. This, and all this. I told you, we have something for everyone. Because we are indeed all about you. So keep it locked on Love Plus Channel 465 on Star Times.
You're welcome back. This is the Courthouse with me, Itohan Olomu-Agbodo, and this week we are going to be looking at freedom of expression versus the hate speech phenomenon going on in Nigeria. And I'm joined by a senior legal practitioner, Moses Bami-Shaye, and he'll be telling us, first of all, the right to freedom of expression. Can you give us a general background?
Thank you. The freedom of expression is not something given by any state government.
Okay.
Just like the right to life, it's a right inherent in you, given to you by God. What the state can only do is to protect it,
yes,
not to give you. So the day you born, the state did not give you the right to life. God gave you the life. And alongside with the right to life is the right of association, the right freedom of speech and expression. So it's not given by the state, but the state is to protect it. So the state is more or less like a custodian or a keeper, a gatekeeper, to ensuring that people have this right and they enjoy it without any limitation or encumbrances. The Constitution goes further to now enshrine this provision in the Constitution. Section 39, subsection 1 of the Constitution provides for the freedom of expression, which is also the freedom or the freedom of speech and right to talk. And in this right is given to you that nothing can curtail, stop, or prevent you. And the essence of this guaranteeing of this right is to prevent any kind of legislation against it, is to prevent any kind of censorship, and is to stop any form of coercion when you try to express yourself generally or to have your own freedom of speech, your right being used.
Okay, so if I have such freedom as a fundamental right, and it's also provided for by the Constitution, as in safeguarded by the Constitution, why then do I have so much of this hate speech drummed into my ears that I'm now afraid to even express myself? So is hate speech now coming to curtail my own freedom of expression? What does it really mean?
In fact, my position is that hate speech is a form of freedom of speech.
A form of freedom of speech?
Yeah. The people brandishing hate speech, they're deliberately looking for an effort, a way to gag the mouth of the people, prevent them from expressing themselves. If I have a fear that there is something called hate speech, then I may not be able to express my opinion or express myself in the way I should. And nothing should inhibit, prevent me, or stop me from being able to express myself. I have my right to my freedom of expression and my opinion. My opinion is subject to myself. And me expressing my opinion out should not in any way limit me or anybody saying that I am bringing out hate speech. Now, the law has provided case of libel. The law has provided case of defamation. Now, these laws are crystal clear, different from me expressing myself. So in a way, when I speak something that is wrong, illegal about you, something that is libelous, it's a criminal offense. It's different from me expressing my freedom of thought, my freedom of expression, and my freedom of speech. Now, there's a need for us to now know that there are things in which the law has been provided for and against. The hate speech, to me, I see people having it as something they hate and is hateful. Now, that you hate what I've said, what I said, does not amount to hate speech. Because not everybody will like what I'm saying, but I'm entitled to my opinion. For example, if we say this present government is irresponsible in obeying court orders, I am entitled to my opinion.
But that could constitute hate speech.
It's not. It's not. Because now what you need to now do is to bring out information as regards you obeying court orders. So what you will now do is, now, I see people do this a lot, and it's wrong. On this side of the divide, okay, there were this group of people, the Bring Back Our Girls group. A group of people were meeting in Abuja, and all of a sudden, the anti-Bring Back Our Girls also came, and there was a kind of fracas between the Bring Back Our Girls and Don't Bring Back Our Girls. And I was like, what's this? What's going on? The Bring Back Our Girls group have every right to constitute themselves and hold a gathering in as much as they are not breaking any law. And they need no police permit to gather. If anything, police should protect them in their gathering.
That's another topic. We're actually going to look at the right to protest and the requirement for police permits.
If anything, police should protect them in their gathering. In a case in which another group comes forth, I guess it can be a forum for a debate. Okay, we hold this view, you hold this view. Tell us what you think about this position, and we will tell you what we think about this position. But it's not a forum to fight. So we now have the anti-camping or party cross-carpeting group, and we have the cross-carpeting group, and they too are fighting each other. I think it's wrong. It's basically wrong.
So we have mudslinging and all that.
It's people, they are entitled to their views and opinion, and they should express it in a way and manner that will not breach any law.
Okay, I see this discussion is already getting heated. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Olomu Plus app is bigger and better. Watch all our shows with just a click.
Let him have the right to decide what happens with your body.
Watch inspiring, informative, and entertaining programs. You can comment, like, and share. Watch our live TV and web TV on your mobile devices. Watch the big stories in real time or when you have the time. Experience Olomu Plus app right now. Download Olomu Plus app on Android, iOS, and BlackBerry. Go to Google Play Store, Apple App Store, or Windows Phone Store. Welcome to the bigger picture. Olomu Plus, beyond television. Now on StarTimes Channel 465 is your #1 Christian and lifestyle channel, Olomu Plus, meeting all your entertainment needs. Trending, dedications, joyride, celebrity lounge, video tales, and so much more. For those of you who love current affairs, we've got you covered. News focus, strictly politics, the agenda, u.gov, and so on. Be sure to always be in the know with our informative programs, as we also get you settled with amazing documentaries like A Day in Your Neighborhood, Discover Africa. These will blow your mind. The youths and kids are not left out, as we have created a platform for them to speak, learn, and have fun. And to crown it all, we serve fresh, hot, and sizzling foods to feed your spirit, soul, and body. That is Pastor's Programs. There's never a dull moment with us. So make it a date on Channel 465 as we take you on a smooth journey to cater to all your needs. Olomu Plus, Channel 465 on StarTimes.
You're welcome back. This is the Courthouse, and we're talking about freedom of expression, freedom of speech, and hate speeches. What is hate speech? You know, we've been giving examples about hate speech, but really, what is this hate speech? So why will I now have a defense that what I said is not hate speech? I need to know what hate speech means before I can know that what I'm saying is just an expression of my opinion and not hate speech.
I think the provision for hate speech is just a way of gagging the mouths of the people, preventing them from being able to express themselves.
But what is it supposed to mean? Really, is it backed by any of our laws?
No, it's not backed by any of the laws. It's not backed by any of the laws, but I think what they intend doing now with the Minister for Information, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, coming out to say they want to prevent hate speech and fake news and all the like. I guess what they want to do now is to bring out a kind of an executive order against hate speech. But I think an effort to do that will be preventing the freedom of speech. And this should be made clear that any law that is made outside the provision of the Constitution is null and void to the extent of its inconsistency. So
yes.
It is obvious that definitely whatever they want to bring in will definitely see its Waterloo. In fact, will never see the light of the day. The law is clear. And in the case of Nwako versus State, I think it's a 1983 case where Nwako published something against Olomu-Agbodo's government in Anambra State, and was sued for under Section 51 of the Criminal Code that what he said was seditious and all the like. The court came off at the Supreme Court. He lost first at the Court of First Instance, but the Court of Appeal came out to say we are not in colonial era and period again. These laws were made by the colonial masters to prevent us from expressing ourselves. Now we are no longer any colonial administration. Should we still keep those laws?
No.
Definitely no. And so the matter was thrown out. And any law that we want to prevent people from expressing themselves. In fact, I think we've gone to the extreme far left, that there is a need for us to go to the extreme far right for us to be able to hit a center balancing point. So people should be allowed to, in fact, it was just to put that said it, that if your right is being infringed upon, he said stamp your feet on the ground, ease, kick the floor. He said do something, but let them know that you are not happy with this. So you have your right to express yourself, and nobody should stop you. So if I were to say, okay, this government is fond of doing this, it is the effort, it is the responsibility is now for the government to come out and say, this is how far we've gone. And that's why there is a need for Department of, the Office of Mass Mobilization. You need to get the people well educated and trained in part of what you are doing and what you intend to do and how they should act.
Even the National Orientation Agency, I don't get to hear lots of
They don't do anything. Yeah, they collect salary, and I think that's just another hole in our pocket. It's either they work or they get them out. You cannot just stay there that we have an agency and nothing is being said about you or heard about you. Now, again, the government needs to come out with statements and policies. Now, the freedom of information law is to allow people to have access to information. The only cure to fake news is the real news. Give them the real information. Yes. So in a state where you have refused to give them information, you can then not ask them to stop giving fake news. You have provided a grant for fake news to strive, and fake news will go hard and fast if you allow it. So you cannot blame the people for your ineptitudeness or your inability to do the right thing. It's not done anywhere.
So in essence, freedom of expression should continue. And we're also viewing hate speech, this executive order or whatever is going to be brought to enforce this hate speech. We're also looking at it as a way of gagging the opinion of the Nigerian citizen and preventing them from actually expressing themselves.
Very true.
Okay, so any further comments on this? Any way forward? Do you want to prefer a solution in terms of this?
Platinum of solutions. Okay. Number one, the National Orientation Agency needs to step its game up. The freedom of information bill, the government should know that they are doing themselves a lot of service in ensuring that we have access to information. I was doing a write-up on the aviation sector. I could have Googled what I was looking for, but I felt, let me have a first-hand discussion, maybe asking people in the field on this. And I went to the aviation something. Do you know that only one out of all the airlines was ready and willing to even talk with me? Mm-hmm. And the only one that talked with me was giving me, come today, come tomorrow, for 3 weeks that I personally refused to then turn up again. So it means people are not given the opportunity and the freedom to ask and to express themselves. And when I said, why are you people, they said I should go to the Minister for the Minister for Aviation, that another from the Minister will allow. And I was like, for this simple thing I'm looking for, and it's as bad as that. In fact, much more terrible. Look for any particular data or information, you will be like a camel passing through the eye of a needle before you can get it. Why should this be? You have right to this information. These people are custodian of this information for you, not against you. This information is kept for you, not from you. It's that whenever you need it, you should be able to access it. It's kept for you, not from you. And the time the government knows this, realizes, and allow people to have access to information. For example, one fake news that they will say that is going out is that Fulani herdsmen are killing people, especially in the southern protectorate, or even in the north, but people who are Christians. And they say it's fake news. And it's, I guess, I think it is wrong. The government needs to come out and say, okay, this is what we have done to curtail this. This is what we are doing, and this is the situation of things. But for a governor burying 200 people of his citizens in a day, for people seeing people shooting sporadically in a public place, and nobody is being held liable and accountable, and you are saying that they are pestering fake news, I think it's wrong.
Indeed, it is very, very wrong. So, like you said, the National Orientation Agency has a lot to do, and they have to wake up to their responsibility of educating Nigerians. You have to tell us what we should know, and that will help in curtailing fake news. And the Minister of Information and Culture is also there. Like you said, the ministry should give us the right information, because the Freedom of Information Act, in as much as it has been passed into law and all that, like you said, you tried to get information from the aviation sector and you kept on seeing closed doors. So as much as possible, we want the right information, cooperate with us, cooperate with the public, so that fake news and wrong rumors and all that would not go on all over the states, all over Nigeria. So thank you so much.
I think parents, they have a lot to do. I want to thank my parents for allowing me to speak. There is a culture that says the elephant does not blow its trumpet and the baby will blow its trumpet, not for my parents. And wherever I am and I want to speak, nobody can stop me from speaking. And they gave me the ability to be able to reason out and say my own mind out. So parents have their own role to play. And I want to encourage parents, please let your children express themselves. You may not like it initially, but the resultant effect when they grow up is that you'll be able to know their way of thinking, how they are drifting. Again, these glorified secondary schools called university, I think it's high time we close them. Some universities, I mean, you can't have cell phones, you are not allowed to do things in the way a mature human being would do it. You are regimented. No, it shouldn't be. You cannot even hold a union or association. There's also unionism, nothing. What you're doing is that you are producing half-baked people. This will be the leaders of tomorrow, who tomorrow will come out and say, in fact, you don't have freedom of expressing yourself at all. Do you know why? Because you have made it so much so that you have prevented them from even having an opinion to express themselves. So this glorified secondary school, I think it's high time for NGOs to start pickpocketing these universities. Go there and do a sit-down something until they change this policy and let people have a freedom of mind, freedom of expression, freedom of speech, freedom of opinion. Let them express themselves. That is where we'll be able to move this nation forward. Sanusi came up at the time and said that $20 billion was not remitted by NNPC. When the investigation was carried out, it was discovered that it was $10 billion and not 20. Now, would that be fake news? It depends on how you look at it, but because he's been able to come out with information,
an investigation.
There is an investigation that went there.
Okay, thank you so much. I know you, like I said, the discussion was getting heated and heated and heated, but we have another segment, the bar book. So, do you have a Latin maxim that will go in line with what we just discussed, or you just want to give a general?
Yeah, I think what would be a little bit opposite would be Reps Issa Locutus. The fact speaks for itself. So don't say something is hate or hateful, or let us see the fact. If there's a fact in it, then there's nothing hateful about it. Okay,
so me, I'll stick with ceteris paribus, all things being equal. So get to find out more Latin maxims on our bar book segment. Don't go away. You're welcome back. And still ahead, we have our question and answer segment. Stay with us.
Bail is a process in a criminal matter by which the court ensures the attendance of a person accused of an offense and who has been arraigned before the court. Basically, what that means, in other words, is when somebody is arraigned in court by any security agency, it could be the police, it could be ICPC, it could be EFCC or any other security agency. Bail is a process by which the court would pronounce conditions to say that this person who's been brought before the court should have somebody stand in for him or have people standing for him who would ensure that he would show up in court and attend the trial. That is what bail is about in court. Bail also extends to the security agencies, as I said. There's bail at the police station, there is bail at the EFCC, there is bail at ICPC, there's bail at DSS, and so on. So bail basically in all, whether in court or before these security agencies, is a process by which you're saying, you've been brought before us, we want to be sure that you'll be here to answer questions or you'll be available to face this allegation against you. And so we want somebody to stand in for you as your guarantor, as the world will call it generally, but in legal terms it is called the surety. The person who stands for somebody for bail is called the surety. That person is to ensure that the person comes. But if you're a person of substance or well respected in society, the court or that security agency could say, he's a well-known person, he's respected in society, he doesn't need somebody else to stand for him as a surety, so would release him on bail on what is called self-recognizance, that is based on your self-worth. As a human being, as a Nigerian, you say he's too much of a person of substance for us to require somebody else to stand for him because we know he can not run away from justice. That's basically what bail is about. Money that is mentioned in the process of bail is not money, contrary to what you hear people say from time to time, is not money that goes to the pocket of anybody immediately. If the court, for instance, or even the police, any of the security agencies in the bond or recognizance, say your bail sum is 2 million naira. It is not that you have to pay 2 million naira for you to be released. No, to anybody. Not even to the state, not to any individual, not to your lawyer, not to your surety or anybody. The sum is saying that bail has been given to you for that amount of 2 million. That means if they say with the surety in like sum, for instance, in court, it means if you're not available for your trial and you are caught or your surety is caught, he's liable to forfeit 2 million naira to the state for his inability to ensure your attendance in court. Same thing before the security agencies. Whatever amount that is entered in the recognizance or the bail bond, is the amount which that surety would forfeit to the state if the person for whom the surety stood does not show up to attend to his trial or to face questioning or the prosecution for that matter. So the money goes to the state eventually and not to anybody. That is only if the person fails, or what you say he jumped bail, which is the language.
Well, that's the much we can take this week, but I must say thank you so much, Barrister Moses, for being with us on the courthouse this week.
Thank you for having me.
I would like to see you some other time.
Very well. Pleasure.
So if you have comments for us, we'd like you to log on to our website on www.loverplus.org or download our app on any of the mobile app stores, Lover Plus. And we have numbers that will be shown on your screen. We'd like to hear from you. We'd like to get questions from you as well. Send your questions, your comments to those numbers that will be shown on your screen now. It's Olomu-Agbodo, and I say, don't just get mad, go get a lawyer. Bye for now.
world.